So here I am running. It's been 10 days since the last time I ran. Last year I tried to run the year, that is 2,020 miles. I made it to 1,910, 200 miles more than my previous year, and almost 190 miles more than the year before that. In the last 4 years, I've never taken more than a few days off at a time. Throughout last year, I averaged about 160 miles a month, 4.7 miles a day. I made my final attempt at a 100-mile distance in mid-December, but I was tired. I made it to 60 miles before my knees gave out on me, and I hobbled back to the finish line, cold and in pain. Several times before, I had promised myself that I would take a break and recuperate, but I didn't. I was afraid that at any time, if I stopped, even for an injury, I might quit. Through all those first years, first with cycling and then with running, I had a deep fear that if I stopped for more than a few days, I'd never go out again. My adventure would be over. And so I kept at it, pushing myself, even when I didn't want to, because I didn't want to stop, and I was afraid that if I missed one planned run, it would only make it easier to miss others, make it easier to quit. But then something happened. I don't even know when it happened, but one day I realized that I wasn't going to stop, that there was something deeper inside pushing me, because I couldn't see myself not running. I think that's when I realized that I'd become a runner. So now I've taken almost 2 months off from my training plan, and I'm just now getting back into it. This is the longest I've ever gone without running, and while I needed it, it has been tough getting back into the rhythm, but I feel rested and ready to try again. At this point, I'm still focused on my main goal of finishing a 100-mile race in 30 hours this year. Because of COVID, I'm not signing up for any new races for this year, at least not until I get a vaccine, but I will run any races from last year that have been rescheduled. Right now it looks like the Little Loco Relay in March, and the Quicksilver 100K in May. Rio de Lago 100 is in November, which will be my last chance to pick up a 100-mile buckle before I turn 50. 10 months. It's good that each race is progressively longer than the previous one, which fits into my overall plan for the year. Though realistically, I would have preferred to have had a 50K in May and a 100K at the end of summer, but who knows what 2021 will bring. Can I do it? I'm not sure, but I know that I'm going to have fun trying. One of the things that I've learned over the last 5 years is that there's really no destination, just the journey. There's no one point where you make it and tell yourself, now I'm a runner. It is a practice. Every day you have a chance to reinvent yourself, to go in a different direction. Do you want to run fast? Do you want to run far? You can, both eventually, but you can only work on one at a time. Pay attention to what you track, because sometimes we end up tracking and improving the wrong thing. When I made the transition to trail running and my focus was on distance and elevation, I kept tracking miles and pace. I was trying to build miles, but in order to make my goal, sometimes I would choose to run a faster, flatter course and get more miles in than doing hill repeats like I really should have. While I had an overall mileage goal last year, this year I'm not tracking mileage as closely, just making sure that I run or walk every day, and then tracking my time on feet for my weekend runs. So what happens after 100 miles? What are some of my longer-term bucket list goals? There are a few challenges that I'm looking forward to once COVID has subsided. Western States 100. Rio de Lago is a qualifier for the Western States 100, one of the world's oldest ultramarathons. This one may take a while because not only do you need to qualify, that qualification only gets you an entry into the lottery. It will be a few years before this happens. I also hope to do a multi-stage race and want to start running ultras outside of California and around the world. And to this end, I hope eventually to qualify for the Mont Blanc Ultramarathon in Europe. I volunteered at a few races, but I'd also love to direct a trail race. In some upcoming episodes, I plan to look a little more into what goes on to putting an awesome trail race experience. My more far-out goals include some truly epic adventures. First, I'm dreaming of one day running the 600-mile Mission Trail in California, following the trail as close as possible from the border of Mexico to Sonoma. A quirk of the mission placement along the California coast is that each one is approximately a marathon distance between each other. My plan would be to run from mission to mission, south to north. My biggest dream, however, is to run coast to coast following the Rails to Trails proposed route across the nation. These goals are far off, but perhaps by speaking about them, by planning, and sharing them with you, they may become real. 5 years ago, running a 5K seemed impossible, so you never know. So I've talked a little bit about what I'm trying to do, but let me point out a few things that I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to do an FKT or a fastest known time. I'm not trying to win a race. Next year when I turn 50, I might have the chance of placing in my age group under very specific circumstances, but let's be realistic. I didn't pick up running until I was 45 years old, and my goals are all about pushing myself and finding my limits. One of my goals for this channel is to share those goals, successes, and even failures with you, and hopefully inspire others to achieve their own goals. And it doesn't even have to be about running. Ultimately, none of this is about running. It's about life, it's about change, and it's about adventure. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best. It is not the destination, it's the journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit like and subscribe below, and hit the notification button if you'd like to know when the next video is uploaded. I work and have a family, so I'm shooting for uploading a video every 2 weeks or so. I'd love to hear about what your goals are and what you hope to achieve. Please write them in the comments below. Now, go out and do great things. Thank you.
I wish I was above the center of attention, but I'm not. I wish I didn't have to give in to the pressure. I'm posting pictures, trying to be someone I'm not. It feels just like I'm lying to you. I fake it, stage it, trying to live some perfect life. I know I'm wasting time, 'cause I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself, you do the same and we'll be alright. 'Cause this pressure's really bringing me down. I wish I had the guts to start a conversation with someone. Just be who I am, not care so much about first impressions. So, 'cause I got a feeling that it could be great. Skip all the acts, stop playing games. Maybe reveal it, they ring me and tell you my name. Yeah, I got a feeling that it could be great. Skip all the acts.